You might have noticed, in fact, that we're going to Cathedral. Last try? Oh my god. We're down to that point. Are we going to have this run, really? It's Sunday, man. It's Sunday. So I'm taking my shoes off for this one. It's Sunday night. It was actually my youngest son's birthday this weekend. So yesterday I was chief entertainer for the kiddies at the party that we threw, which was an enormous success. If you don't know, my sons are born around about 3 weeks apart, which means we had a dual birthday. So we had a 4-year-old's birthday party and a 2-year-old's all simultaneously in this hall. We rented out a church hall, really cheap, and just had a big old day with them. We got a guy who was supposed to be Batman, wasn't Batman. Oh, really? Not even close if I think about it. Little bit. Oh god, my grid moved. Uh-oh. Triggered. It wasn't not Batman. It was a pretty good, cool day though. I always end up rolling around and getting all like hot and sweaty. That came out wrong. But rolling around and fighting with the kids, and there was a bouncy castle thing there, so I was like wrestling around with them. I think it's so important. It's like it's their day. Is to get, like, just make them, just to make sure they're having so much fun ever. You might have noticed, in fact, that we're going to Cathedral of the Eternal Night. Many of you requested Dispriest on the last video. Awesome. So many of you are getting into Dispriest since I made the guide for it. Now, I'm not able to do combo wombo stuff while I'm in a dungeon. I can do some cool combos. Hopefully we'll do fine. This is the first time I've ever healed Grievous as a Dispriest. Now, notoriously, Grievous is very difficult for Dispriest, so I don't know how this is going to go. I think it's an 11 or a 12. Curiously, or not so curiously actually, ever since Blizzard announced that we'll only have to do a +10 this week to in fact get 935 gear next week, then there's very few dungeons going that are above +10. This was one of the only ones, and I didn't want it to be too easy. I mean, my priest is pretty well geared. He's 915, so it's probably going to counter the Grievous, I hope. I don't know. Like, I have healed Grievous before. One of my first healing experiences ever was, in fact, Grievous. So I have dealt with it before. It was much more difficult than I expected it to be, if I'm being totally honest with you, and that was on a Resto Druid, which kind of is an easier ride than maybe I'm going to have with Dispriest. Oh, it's slightly off-center. About there? That looks about right. Let's lock that, and let's also go into here and frame lock it, and that will never move ever again. Let's put a flask on for this. Let's do the full beans. Yeah, so you guys were requesting Dispriest. So yeah, it was a tremendous day, but I was roasting. Like, at one point, the kids found a big, long banner, like a happy birthday banner, like a tinfoil one, and I was making them into sleds. So I had the kids wrapped up and were pulling me around the room like this. That very quickly descended into, of course, them pretending to tie me up and jump all over me and stuff. But what's funny is there's a lot of parents there who are bringing their kids who are friends of my kids, particularly from nursery and things like that. And what was hilarious is their kids were just going crazy. Like, I had one kid, I'm not joking, right? This kid literally started, like, using his teeth, which was crazy. Like, I have never seen that in my life. Like, using his teeth to get me. And when I say get me, I literally mean get me. I'm going to overheal a little over the top here, just because I don't know what Grievous is going to be like. So I'm just going to be spamming a little bit where I get a feel for Grievous on this. And obviously watching out for people who... The biggest problem I have healed this week with Sanguine. I expected Sanguine to be a non-issue, but it turns out it's actually a big issue because people just don't seem to realize it's happening more than anything, which is kind of annoying. They just don't realize it's going on. So what they tend to do is just stand in it and then healer will deal with it kind of thing, which is very annoying. So I'm obviously trying to keep up with Grievous here. Using Shadow Covenant as best as possible. It looks like we're going to chain pull some trash, so I'm going to get the Mindbender going and keep the purges going. I'm going to have to pop Rapture here. There we go, we got there. Slowly but surely we got there. Hopefully this isn't going to aggro me too much. Let's use our Trinket. Can you, like, tank this thing? That would be sweet, dude. It would actually be genuinely quite awesome if you could tank this thing. And not all stand in that. That would be ace. Like, it would be seriously ace if you didn't do that. So, we are off to a flying start. This is going to be a fun run, I can tell already. We're going to be having a good run here. Maybe I should barrier before the next one. Look at all the sanguine everywhere. Holy crap. At least it's a blood DK. Yeah. At least it's a blood DK. So I don't have to heal him too much. Mindbender go. Shadow Wave. Avoid that. Not too bad, actually, considering this pull and, you know, the amount of damage people are taking. Not too bad. I was expecting worse, honestly. I know this looks grim, but I was expecting much worse than this. Let's Light's Wrath everyone back to full health. Shadow Wave. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, though. God damn it. To be fair, I've never fought this mob over here. Have any of you guys? Like, ever? I don't think so. I don't think I've literally ever fought here. It's pain suppression. Oh my god. Definitely more than doable, though. Trinket go. Like, if this is the start of the dungeon, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. I would really like some mana at this point. It's always one of those things, like, I have never seen anybody end up, like, so far over here after the first trash pack that we're in danger of pulling these mobs. But there you go. Life's a bitch. Oh, it's just shade pulling. Fuck it, you know what I mean? Let's keep going. What is Grievous, anyway? How does it work? I don't know. But the interesting thing, so if you're not curious about this, I know some of you are asking is like, can I talk a little bit more about what I'm actually doing in the dungeons? And you're right, like some dailies are definitely more story orientated if I'm not going to be too challenged. Or in my view, not too challenged, so taking like one of my higher level alts into, say, you know, like a plus 15 or something. And I know that sounds really smug to those of you who don't do plus 15s, but it's all gear. It's all it is, really. I think people give too much credence to plus 15s and whatever. Like, it's all gear. It's only when you get past that that you start getting into some real wonky, crazy trash where you need to know, like, some very specific, tactics and stuff like that. So the way this works is, you can see on my raid frames here, I love this, by the way. I'm using mouse... Oh, I'm doing two things here. I'm using mouse over macros, which means when I spot somebody near me who is about to take damage, let's put it that way, I don't have to click them on the frame, because I didn't know that was the mage offhand. Like, in terms of my reaction speed, what I could do is just straight up just target them with my mouse and give that guy a shield. And which worked out really nicely for me. So with this, what I'm doing is I heal via damage, right? But I don't heal anybody who doesn't have this buff on. So you'll see in the middle of the raid frames is they have this buff. This buff is called Atonement. So the way I apply Atonement is power word shield. I also have a single target spell called Penance. That I like, if like this guy, see, I can click Penance on him and give it him. It's kind of inefficient if you're doing a lot of people. There's also an AoE version here called Radiance. That'll give it for a shorter duration, but to more people. It's not standing sanguine, that would be bad. So what I'm doing is getting hit by every one of those, which is nice. So I have to be very aware of who I'm giving this buff to and like deciding who to give it to. So now I've got Light's Wrath and everyone's taking a little bit extra damage like this. I'm going to give everybody the buff and then I'm going to fire off a big damaging spell, which is going to be Light's Wrath. They're going to pull just more trash, so I'm going to give them barrier for the sake of this. So unless they have this buff, they're not going to get any heals from me. Which makes the spec so much more engaging, because I have to play it like a DPS spec. It's also why I use mouse over macros heavily on this, because I'm constantly having to mix DPS with selecting people for heals. I find that a really fun playstyle, because it's like a hybrid playstyle, but not. So you might be thinking, well, what if you can't attack something, Preacher? What do you do there? Well, I have a couple of backups should that happen. One, I have this spell, which is called Shadow I'm Out of Mana. It's a wonderful spell. I recommend you get it. What's it called? Shadow Mend. So I have Shadow Mend. That's a straight up heal, but it also debuffs the target, which can be a little bit dangerous. Let me say mana, because you're just going to pull out it. Which debuff... Yeah. But it also debuffs stats, so it comes with a consequence. So for dungeons as well, we take an AoE version of that spell called Shadow Covenant, which also does the same sort of thing. So it will throw out an instant heal, but it also debuffs the targets as well. But it's not that punishing. Like, it's supposed to be... It's not the ideal, obviously, but it's not that punishing. It's not like, so you would picnic about it or anything like that. You won't be like, oh my god, I had to Shadow Covenant. No, you're supposed to use it, right? I mean, that's the idea. I wonder if I could dominate mine some of these things. I need to, like, science a lot of things. Oh, okay. So I did want to bring this up, but it's kind of the last time I'm going to bring it up, because honestly, it doesn't apply to, like, 99.9% of you. But in the Brewmaster video, obviously, did you know that you can paralyze piercing shards? Because I know now. But a lot of people are like, how don't you know that? Well, in the video you saw, that was the very first time my monk had ever done Neltharian's Lair. That should be obvious enough why I didn't know any little tips and tricks for things like that. But the point is, why do I show things like that? Well, I want to be totally clear about something. And like I said, it's the last time I'm really going to bring this up. So those of you who are avid watchers of the show, you guys can feel free to chime in on my behalf here. But what I'm actually doing here, unless it's a request video like this one, which is like, please can we see some of this? You're going to die, dude. If you keep doing that, don't do that. Basically, I'm practicing for guides in most of the videos, right? I'm practicing for guides and increasing my knowledge and trying to get awareness. Things like that. These are the things that I don't show. Now, you've got to remember is a lot of what you see, particularly on YouTube, is can be manipulated very heavily. So, as somebody who's done this for a very, very long time, it's quite important that you understand that YouTube is very heavily manipulated. When I first started making videos, you better believe that I made the same guides over and over and over again, but something happened in there where I felt like a bit of a noob, and also would have devalued the guide, right? It would have devalued the guide in some way. So what I do is just record it again. I have no need to show you that because I know the response and what it's going to be. And you might say, well, that's dishonest. Well, the point is, there's a lot of people out there, particularly when you make guide content, who want nothing more than to try and berate you in some way. Let's get a lot of Purge the Wickeds going here. So you can multi-dot here. You gotta remember, for damage, for a Disc Priest perspective, multi-dotting is essentially loads of renews. Very cool. Don't die on me, bro. Yeah. Had to switch my healing. Oh, God, you start back here. Lame. It devalues the credibility of your guides. And in early days, I was very conscious of that. Like, I didn't want to be the guy who's like, you didn't know this, you know. And especially when there are so many people out there who want to discredit you in some way. Especially someone who's played a spec for a very, very long time. Know all the tips and tricks. So someone who's played a Brewmaster since day one clearly knows about stuff like Neltharian's Lair trash, right? But obviously on my very first time through, no, I didn't know you could paralyze every run. I do now. Now, why don't I make a bigger fuss out of it, I think is the next thing. Is, one, I think it's more honest this way and probably more entertaining. Like, even if it's something that aggravates you, if you take it very personally that I didn't know that, it's still kind of entertaining for you to watch. I think so. Like, oh, you're getting invested in what's happening, even if it might be a negative thing. But more importantly than that, then what? Well, one, I could take it. I don't care. I'm learning constantly about the tips and tricks of every single spec in the game. That's 36 specs that have some sort of tips and tricks in certain trash packs and certain specific dungeons, right? When you really nail it down, it's that convoluted of how much stuff I'm learning. So yeah, I'm going to be learning stuff over time. To add to a huge library of knowledge that obviously I use to hopefully educate and help you guys out. Did you all die? Yeah, you did. On another note, though, it's actually really useful because despite the fact that it's like 0.001% of people who get genuinely upset about these things, most replies are actually, did you know you can do this? And of the tens and tens of thousands of people who watches these videos every day, there are people, just pull it, man. What the fuck? I know it hurts, but just get it done. We're going to be here forever. I'm going to rapture this one in case they don't stun. So what I'm doing here is this mob obviously has a very, very nasty damage should he catch the spell. So what I'm trying to do is get bubbles on everybody before it hits so it absorbs all that damage. But more importantly, there'll be a load of Brewmasters there who are getting new to Brewmaster, particularly if they watch the guide. Like, the response to the Brewmaster guide was really good. Like, people were like, this looks really fun. And it is really fun. It's again, a spec I wish I could invest more time into, but alas, the show must go on. But they'll be like, well, I didn't know that, right? So now they pick up that tip. So in that respect, it's super useful. I do wish people were more polite about it sometimes, but again, I think most of it comes down to a mix of one. There's definitely an element for some people of wanting to be smarter than me, who has a YouTube channel and blah 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 blah. Right? There's definitely an aspect to that, and that's fine. That's fine. That's all right. But more to the point is to try and share information. And I think that's always been a big part of my channel and a big focus of mine. Whether some viewers get that or not, it doesn't matter. But it's all about sharing information. It's all about passing on this stuff so that we know. And maybe there'll be that time where somebody else didn't know that, and then he was with a Brewmaster tank, and then he told him that information, even though he doesn't play the Brewmaster. But, oh, you are getting hammered. Okay. And I'm going to have to run away here, boys. Sorry about this. You're all, I believe, though, you are all stood in nasty stuff. So if you guys could stop pulling everything, that would be awesome. Well, I think this is kind of nice. Like, do you know what's funny, though? And some of you will know this, but the contrast between my first few healing runs and now is so different. So different. Isn't it? It's pretty ridiculous when you see it happening. You see what I'm talking about? People standing in Sanguine is way more deadly than anything else. And please don't let that guy just spam fell bolts into us. It's so much damage on Fortified, boys. So much damage. Run back again. I've definitely gotten to the point where, you know, things like that, there's not much I can do. You're going to ninja pull all the trash in the Fortified Cathedral 11 and just take all the damage in the world. There you go. There you go. That's what's going to happen. So from that perspective, no, it doesn't bother me. A lot of people think, does it bother you? You know, like the disc, you know, all these, you know, seeing these comments every day. It's like, no, not really. As long I prefer, like I say, I prefer people being more polite about it and say, did you know this? That's far more polite than, lol, you effing noob, mate. Can't believe you didn't know that. Why would I know that? It's the first time I've ever been on a monk in Niltharian's Lair. You saw the achievement. You know what I mean? Why would I have known that? There's 2 monks in my guild. And I don't Mythic Plus with either of them. In fact, most of my Mythic Plus is done now in pugs, which is a hell of a thing, a hell of a change of pace for me. This is the thing, right? Before TDP, I never did a Mythic Plus outside of pretty much the same 4 people since the start of Legion. That's how recent. Like, pugging Mythic Plus? Hell no, man. Not in a million years would I pug Mythic Plus. Now I find it quite fun because I get to do the daily. I get to play so many different specs and classes, which is way more fun than raiding at the moment. It's got to be said. Raiding is just right now. I've got a video coming out on it for discussion, so you guys can have a watch of that. Let's see what you think. You see that way that Shadow Covenant just buffed everybody up? There we go. So hopefully now a little bit more sensible trash pulls, guys, would be delicious. Absolutely delicious. I would be more than happy. Oh, I'd be more than happy. So let me get back to what I'm doing with the Disc Beast. So as you can see, I'm pre-bubbling the tank. He's going to take the initial damage, and it's all about predicting what's going to happen here. The next thing that's going to happen, though, as we know in this fight, is the adds are going to spawn. So a big part of what I'm going to be doing there is trying to keep shields in the tank for Timber Smash, in particular, so it's going to take a big chunk out of that. But I'm going to switch very quickly to here and start doing damage. Again, put his shields back on the tank. Now, hoping and praying that the DPS are actually going to hurt these. That does not appear to be happening at all. Okay, so I'm going to have to adjust my strategy here from the strategy which I wanted to do. What if they're going to try and blame the healer for their one-shot effect? Double res, nice. So I'm going to put a Light's Wrath into the boss here. So Light's Wrath is my artifact ability, which does a tremendous amount of damage. It actually scales with the amount of atonements I have. Right, here's the ads, guys. Can we do some work here? No, I guess not. Are you trying to just zerg the boss down? Man. It's painful, dude. It's honestly painful. It's honestly so painful. You have to kill the ads, dudes. They killed it. I can't believe they killed it. What you don't want to see when you do this boss at this level, I mean, it's only 11, I'm sure, is you don't want to see you at 7 million ad damage, and the mage, I know he died, but 700k, 8 million from him, 3 million from the rogue, 9 million from them. You don't want to see that release. That's not what you want to see. But, well, I don't mind. Like I said, I guess the other big question that a lot of people ask is, why do you not lose your mind? Honestly, it doesn't matter to me. I'm long past, and have been long past for years now, getting really angry at WoW. Really long past that. There was a time, and I actually think it was a bad thing, is where I was super, super emotionally invested in the game. Like, heavily emotionally. And honestly, I played at my best during those times, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I cared so much about every little thing. But, I don't know, there's a point you get to where you've wiped a million times in this game, right? You've wiped so many times that it honestly doesn't matter anymore. I don't care. I mean, I don't know what these guys' situations are. I mean, Andy still gets very angry. Really, really angry. Like, a poor maneuver will often drive him crazy. Like, and he's just like, how can you not do this? And obviously I see the same thing in my comments, but for me, I find this very relaxing, honestly. I do. I've come to find it very relaxing to chill out and just sort of have fun. I mean, I'm playing a game. Like, if a run gets so... I mean, especially if I'm making a video on it, like... you know what I mean? I said this on the death run that I did in Blackrock. You might remember the death run. I said this in there, is that... You know what? If I really cared, then sure, I'd be super angry. But for a video maker's perspective, like, the horrible runs can be just as good as the really good runs. In fact, there have been several dailies I've done where things have just gone really, really well, and it's boring. It's really boring compared to when things go horribly. Like, I'm tempted to Rapture here. I don't know what you guys think. I'm tempted to Rapture here. God, you're getting hammered, dude. Because of that. Yeah. I should have Raptured. I should have Raptured. I knew it was coming. Didn't I? I knew it was coming. Guy, how are you pulled? What does that mean? Guy. Hey, Guy. How did you pull that? How did you pull that big guy? There you go. That's the question. Shadow Covenant, everyone up. Whee! So Shadow Covenant is spannable, but again, it puts a debuff on. No, that debuff doesn't really apply in combat, outside of combat. Oh, we get water? Dope. This is pretty hype. Yeah, so it doesn't trigger me anymore. I find that's funny, right? It's funny. I knew it was coming as well. Like, my sixth sense was tingling. I was like, are they all going to take Felglare with all the imps up? Maybe I should Rapture. But I was second guessing myself the whole way, so no big deal. But yeah, I don't get triggered off and bury this. But Rapture, again, going back to the Dispriest thing. So Rapture gives my shield 0 cooldown. So what I could do is shield the whole party. It's really good when you know something terrible is about to happen, which is why it was running through my head that felt the glare was going to go off on the eyeball. And potentially, if people don't know to turn around then, I mean, you can get into 11s where obviously people don't know to turn around at that point. And... take a chunk out of that damage. Now, I actually think my shield wouldn't have done that much then, honestly. Especially with the tank being feared, because it does fear you as well. With the tank being feared and whatnot, I don't think it would have rescued the situation, but we'll leave that to the mathematicians to devise whether I could have saved that. Could I have barriered and raptured them and gone, like, incredibly out of my way to do something against the avoidable damage? And that's the point. Like, I'm deciding what to do about things that nobody should take damage from at all, really. It should be fine. But we'll see. So you're probably noticing that I'm using shields on a variety of people. Yeah, it depends what tank I'm using, I've found. Like, generally speaking, sure, I'm still going to put power shield on a tank, but not always. Things I try and watch out for is who's prone to standing in Sanguine, or Sanguine, whatever you want to call it, and giving them the shield because they're going to, like our DK friend and our rogue friend, and mainly because they're in melee. It's not necessarily because they're doing a mistake or something, it's because they're in melee range, and you know that can happen. So I like giving them the shield because it's just going to nullify that. And you remember in Grievous, these guys are still getting Grievous ticks. I don't track it because guess what? If they're not at full health and are in combat, they're getting Grievous, right? I don't need to. I'm not going to learn much by tracking it, other than they have Grievous. You know what I mean? And I should remove Grievous as the healer. So that's how I look at it. Now, I wonder if people will actually turn away here. What do we think? What do you think? I don't know. I'm kind of going to put out Radiance now. They all hit, so they did all know, they just weren't tracking it. Now, I often find this happens, is people not tracking stuff while other mobs are involved, you know? So they are aware that the thing exists, but because they're like DPSing the ads or whatever, they're not watching, is this guy doing the thing that he does? So you can see there I used Holy Word Radiance, like just before the glare. I'm going to do it again in a second, because I think the glare's coming. I haven't got a timer for it, so I've got Radiance on. I'm kind of hoping it goes off now, just in case someone tries to get the kill. This is what usually happens. Yeah, well, it was a one-shot, so sorry, buddy. I couldn't have predicted that, unfortunately. So that's something else is dis that you watch for is, if the mob's low health, somebody's going to try and get the heal. Someone's going to try and get the kill before the ability goes off, so they're not going to turn around. Which is what I was watching for then. Ooh, nice. Oh, you have low health, bro. I wonder what your conk is. Low conk, maybe? Low conk? Never mind. Pulling! Go for it. So shield on the tank as we go in. Gonna instantly apply Purge the Wicked. Throw out Penance because it's good damage. I'm gonna start smiting. So my smite's actually debuffing the target, reducing the damage the tank will chase. Very nice. Hopefully no one's getting hit by Pulverizing Charge. Good. I didn't know that did AoE damage, so lesson learned. So I could set up for that now. Now that I know that's going to happen. I mean, I could throw a cheeky barrier even. I think I'm going to need it in the next minutes, though, barrier. Because, obviously, when it comes to cooldowns on this... Give him an Angelic Feather. When it comes to cooldowns with this, there's a few things you've got to bear in mind. One of them is... what's going to come up in the next few minutes. Ooh, what is that? Oh, it's just a slow. Never mind. Not too asked about a slow. Ugh, it's nasty though. Give him a pain suppression. Is when nasty things are coming out. So I'm going to use my trinket here. While watching for that pulverizing cudgel, I'm going to save my Radiance for there. Radiance does have 2 charges. There it is. So I'm going to throw out the Radiance now. I'm going to follow it with the Light's Wrath as soon as it lands. Boop. And everyone's back to full health. Yay! See, that's how Dis works. That's the shiny, glossy Dis style. Let's go here so we don't hurt anybody. But I don't think this does damage to me even if he blocks it. Oh, there we go. Instantly start spreading some joy on these. Throw out the Radiance. And I'm going to use Mindbender on the back of this. So Mindbender's doing lovely healing, by the way. Really cool spell. He's taking damage, so we're going to get Grievous. He's piling up pretty high here, so I'm just going to help my buddies out, top them off. But I have such an appreciation for how this spec works. I enjoy it so much, because it's just a combination of healing and DPSing all at the same time, and you're constantly moving between one or the other. Like, once you get in trouble and you need to start spamming, like, Shadow Covenant or whatever, you really feel like an old-school healer, you know, where you're just panic healing people. That's something you shouldn't ignore, by the way. It's a fun part of the spec, because it still retains that natural healing skills that you've come to know and love. Here come a load of ads. Alright, this is going to be painful. Big bubbles on our tank here. Throw out as much damage as we can. Keep bubbles on the tank. He's going to be taking some beastly damage from these. So we'll Purge the Wicked's going. That one's running out. So yeah, Purge the Wicked. What a wonderful spell. So essentially each one of these, think of these like mini renews that you're adding up. Ooh, okay, 1 second. 1 second. 1 little second here. I kind of want to do a higher level dungeon on my Disc Priest, but honestly, there's just none going this week. There's just none going. I think this week I'm gonna have to go for Keymaster this week as well, which kind of sucks because guess where I am tomorrow, team? You're not even gonna believe it. I'm going to Thomasland, so I'm not actually in work on Monday, which is kind of nice for me. I have been a bit depressed this week, which is rare for me to anything to actually get me down, but the YouTube thing has really got me down. I've tried to sort of work around it when it comes to, you know, working videos and stuff, and frankly I enjoy making videos, so no big deal. That's why the barrier went down. That's why I saved barrier early on. Now you can see why, yeah? Let's light Wrathbith. That's exactly why that happened. So shields on the other guys, because we're going to get Sanguine around, as we can see. Give myself a little cheeky one. I'm going to use a little Shadow Covenant here just to help top a little bit. You can see why. That's what you got to do as Dis, in my opinion, is you've got to know your timings. How long am I going to run into this? Can I use this cooldown? Am I not going to have it later? That's the important thing for me. That's what I love about it. I mean, it's 25 deaths, but all of them have just been silly overpulls and things like that, so no big deal. Doesn't take away from the spec at all. It's not a Dis problem, you know? If people get one shot, it's not, oh, Dis. I only got one shot without a Dis. Yeah, chances are you probably would have been one shot even harder, actually. Using science. Ooh, get off me. Let's pop our trinket here for some overhealing. Oh yeah, that's nice. Oh, feed me, baby. Feed me, make me good. Make me feel good about myself. I can get some sweet renews out here, actually. And it's the mixture as well of watching everything that's going on. Like, you're DPSing like a multi-dotter, you can see that? Like I'm multi-dotting, essentially. While simultaneously we're keeping a really close eye on raid frames. I'm going to pain suppression you here, bro. The rest of us are going to be fine. Some more hots going. That's going to help our friends out. Get a shield on the tank because he's the one taking the brunt of the damage. A little instant top up. I'm going to shield our rogue now so he gets rid of his Grievous. Got that shield buffer zone for Grievous. Yum, 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 yum. And you can see, I see all those 22Ks that are popping up off people. That's just my Purge the Wicked ticking on people as a dot. Because obviously damage is transferred into healing, so it kind of vice versa. All them dots are transferring into individual little hots. Really quite nice. I do need to work on my management of it though and get it a bit better. But it's a spec I want to encourage people. What we saw, like, I don't know if you guys remember, but in Legion Alpha in particularly, the spec was dramatically changed from its Walls of Drain or counterpart. In fact, it's dramatically different than any time Dis has existed. Is people were trying to use it like they used to use it, which was like just spamming shield and stuff. And doing it wrong. And when that wasn't working, because obviously you can't just spam shield, you have to be interacting constantly with everything that's going on. Is people fell back on Shadow Mend and Shadow Covenant and tried to spam heal with just that, which did not work. And what we had, and I had a particular moment in Legion Alpha, I think it's in one of the videos actually, was people switching over to Holy mid-dungeon, even if they didn't have the artifact weapon, which was crazy. Real crazy. So here comes the Fell Soul Cleave. That was pretty good. Our tank knows what's up. We're lucky here to have a decent tank, actually. Now, I can't really predict who's going to take what damage here. Now, our mage is on the case, so my mage is going to get a shield. I'm going to use my trinket here for a little bit of overheal. Again, another shield on the mage. He's the one doing the brunt of the actual proper work. Oh, God. Yeah, that was silly. Okay, there's my mistake of the day. Focusing too much on our... too much on our mage there. Just got distracted. Can we still go on? I think so. I think we should be fine. Now we should go in. I like the little war that's going on. But that was... I definitely could have saved a combat res there. To say the least. But I think... I feel bad for our mage then, because he was doing, like, the big brunt of work there. In order to rescue our little group. You are getting really hurt now, sir. Let's top that up. Right, so we're kind of relying on our DK friend here, so we need to keep peepers on him. Let's get bubbles on everybody. That was lucky bubbling, wasn't it? Well, I say lucky, but it was what needed to happen. God, you're taking a lot of damage now, boys. Yeah, overwhelmed at the end there. I'll claim responsibility for that. I should have been in. I should have been in. For sure. Oh well. GG. He's like so mad. GG. Oh well. I'll be salty. But hey, it wouldn't be a daily if I didn't make some stupid error, right? It wouldn't be a daily. You guys wouldn't appreciate it if I didn't make some silly error. But that's fine. All good. I'm not convinced we would have been fine, even if I hadn't been in there. I knew our rogue was going to take damage there. They're constantly out of range wherever he was. Zoom, zoom. Let's go. Has our mage been the weaker DPS? I honestly don't check these things throughout the run, so I don't know. But he was doing his job, though. No fucking... I swore. Here's the thing. I can turn it off, but it's when I get very relaxed, honestly. It's like a squeaky fart. It's like a squeaky fart, you know? When you're very relaxed, it just kind of goes... Just escapes. What are you supposed to do about it? I don't know. It just sneaks out on me, which is funny. Now, yeah, I'm going to Thomasland tomorrow morning. Now, Thomasland, if you don't know, is a theme park dedicated to Thomas the Tank Engine. Pretty dank, actually. My kids are going to lose their mind. I'm going to have fun. It does have roller coasters and stuff there. It's a very small theme park. Don't think of it as like, I don't know, like one of the big US ones or something like that. It ain't that. It ain't that. What it is a place for little kids to have a lot of fun. Oh, you don't lust here, dude. That's grim. That's pretty grim. Right, I assume our melee are going to be Johnny on the spot now with our guardians, so let's help. Shield on the mage, as before. No, I don't want to Light's Wrath that. Shield back on the tank. Chaotic energy is coming. Ooh, you're taking some beast damage there, bruv. Energy. I'm going to put the shield on the DK. I'm not sure where he is. Now we're going to Light's Wrath. Nice. Much smoother. Much, much smoother. I do need, if someone could post in the comments, I could look up myself, but why be a YouTuber and do all the work yourself? Just something that I don't cut off the last tick of penance. I know it exists. I used to have one for Mindflay. I think it's just exclamation mark. I think it is. Whoa, dude. Ah, you're trying to, like, cloak it or something, aren't you? I see what you're doing. Let's use our trinket. Okay, alright, I'm going to bring it up now. So, many of you got super triggered because I got this trinket and I wasn't happy. Look, I didn't know what was in the... Oh, unfortunate, man. I didn't know what was in the Disc Priest Mage Tower. I certainly didn't know I was going to one-shot it, right? How many ads are up, boys? Like, what is happening here? Oh, how have you let so many ads up? How is that possible? There's so many ads up. That is a crazy amount of ads. Let's use our powerful Shadow Covenant. Are we only attacking one? I don't know. I should probably check back. I'm actually more focused now on what's happening. But yeah, many of you were upset that I got the healing trinket. And wasn't impressed by it. Now, first of all, getting legendaries for me ain't that big of a deal, right? Playing so many characters, I have a lot of legendaries across my account, right? Most characters have 4 or 5. Besides my rogue, actually, who has 1. He's gotten stiffed on the RNG machine. You guys, if you guys are unhappy with how many Legos I get, think of my poor rogue who's been playing... I didn't cap him first, but he has 1. I don't even know how it's possible at this point. Like, he's done normal raids, at least since the Nighthold. And he's only had one legendary. I don't know why. But what, yeah, getting legendary wasn't happy for me. And I wanted something that was a bit more disc specific that would help me in what I knew was going to be a DPS challenge in the form of the Mage Tower. And the trinket is wonderful. I'm very happy to have it. I really am very happy to have it. But it's not the creme de la creme. I'm surprised our tank isn't pulling the boss over the top of the towers, though. I mean, that's what I do when I'm tanking here. Just aim the cleave away, but still go and help. Because why not, though? I don't know. I assume everyone's going to be in for this. Besides RDK, what are you doing? That's more than just Grievous. We've had Grievous the entire run, and it's never been that much of an issue. I don't want to Light's Wrath just yet. I'll give the Rogue a shield so he can buffer it off. Nice. Let the Mindbender put in work. Instantly heal that up with Penance. Re-establish shields. I'm going to Rapture here, because just honestly at this point, like, the damage just gets pretty weirdly heavy. I'd rather everyone just have a shield, rather than have to cope with Grievous again. Now I'm going to save Trinket and... I'm going to save Trinket for this. Oh, one shot. I can't help the one shot, dude. I'm sorry. I wish I could. I wish I could. Sorry, Trollax. If you ever get to watch this, I can't help you with the one shot, man. I want to. Believe me, I do. I want to help you with the one shot, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Funny though, right? It would be my alright, we're barriering this. Because everyone's fine, okay. Was it worth the barrier? I don't know. We're not gonna have it for the orb phase, which we're definitely gonna have in the next boss. We're definitely gonna have the orb phase, so it was a risk worth taking rather than wipe on this again. In my opinion, it was a risk worth taking. It's a whisk, my Jonathan Wassisms. It was a risk worth taking to have that happen. Alright. Stay still, buddy. Stay still. Ooh! Oh, no! Bruh! Are you kidding me? I'm having a drink, bro. I'm having a drink before the last boss. What are you trying to do? Make the timer? I just want to be out of here, man. I've had enough. Whatever, dude. All the healers right now. I know all the healers who are watching are like, this is why I don't heal pugs, man. This is why I don't do it. You're just going to get yourselves killed. It's not my fault. Do you know what I mean? You really guys want to get yourself killed, you go ahead. I'm drinking. Can I drink now? Is that alright? Go on. You do what you want to do. I'm going to have a drink. If you die, you die. It's on you, buddy. It's on you, man. It's on you. I want to just finish up by saying I saw a lot of suggestions how we can get around the YouTube demonetization thing, like bleeping, censoring. That would be obnoxious. The better thing is if I just constantly train myself not to swear. Like, I never swear in front of my kids, so it's not actually a big deal. I can't imagine many of you would miss it, right? Really? Maybe you can let me know down below. Like, would you really miss it? But as it stands, like I say, I make these videos for fun at the moment, and I have some bigger stuff coming, but that's going to be on Patreon first. Then it is going to come to YouTube, so don't picnic about that. But that's who's paying the bills right now, is Patreon and Twitch. Twitch subscribers. They're the ones who are keeping the lights on in this place. Unfortunately, it's no longer YouTube, and that's the situation. Will that change in the future? I hope so. I hope YouTube sees some sort of sense. As some people pointed out, Google doesn't make money from YouTube. Well, that's kind of true and kind of not. Directly, no, they don't. That's like that is true. Like hosting everything. Did you stand in front of Carrion Swarm? Bruh, really? Like, there are just some things I can't help you with, you know? There's not much I can do about it. If you're gonna screw yourself, like, you can't expect me to save it. Now this sucks because I can't heal, as far as I know. I can't. Oh, I can do damage on these things, I think. I'm really not sure how this is gonna work. I'm just gonna spam Shadow Covenant and shields. Oh, Rapture would be nice here. Oh, my Grievous is so high. Yeah, it's just so high. How am I going to heal this? How am I going to heal this? I guess I can Light's Wrath one. I'm going to have to save everything. That's the only way I can think of doing it. What's Mass Res called for this? It's called Mass Res. Easy game. Huh. I'm going to have to Rapture. I'm going to have to Rapture Light's Wrath. I'm going to have to do a wombo combo, aren't I? It's the only way I can do it. Pretty much. I think. That should be fine. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to save. I'm gonna save everything for that phase, pretty much. This Dark Solitude, though, it sucks. And that's why I blew a lot of cooldowns earlier. Okay, so shields. Yeah, that works. Okay, I'm focusing a little bit here because I need a battle strategy for this. On me again. Get a shield in the tank. Get this out of the way. There's Carrion Swarm. Alright, here we go. Trinket. Let's get Mindbender going as quickly. Oh, this sucks. There we go. It's not enough, is it? Nope. Oh god, this is really hard. Creeping Shadows. Yeah, he's taking as much from Grievous. I need to set up something even more mega. I've got to top people. That's the problem in this phase, isn't it? Huh. Last try? Oh my god. We're down to that point. Are we going to have this run, really? What am I going to do here? I really don't know. Is it when Illidan gets hit? The guy is protecting Illidan, I'm sure of it. There's Lust. Dark Solitude. There, that's the bitch. Dark Solitude but Grievous. That's the bitch right there. Alright, here we go. It's Rapture. Mindbender go. God, you're taking so much damage, bro. Yeah, that phase was nasty, dude. Dark Solitude, check it up. Easy game. Woohoo! What a bitch. That was a bitch. Holy crap, that was a bitch. Nasty. Nasty, nasty business, man. Nasty business. That was tough. That was tough. That was the toughest thing I had to do by miles there. 74 million healing needed there. Woo! Shadow Covenant for the rescue. Look at that. So that Rapture was what held it off. It was like a dam stemming the tide of damage they needed. Shadow Covenant just topping it off. Equal pretty much between Covenant, Shield, Atonement. Yeah, Shadow Man just coming in there. Oh, that Leech coming in recognizable. Woof! Nasty. I don't think there was any overhealing for my Trinket. Yeah, literally 1.6 million. Even at 11, that was tough. Real tough. Oh, well, there you go. There you go, ladies and gents. Some Disc Priest action for you. Not bad, eh? Not bad at all. Fun spec, but God, that was tough. That was tough. How much damage did they take from Grievous? Because I was really struggling to get rid of it there. Grievous, 8 million. 3 million. 7 million. 3 million on me. And 3 million. Just that creeping shadows dot. That's what was wrecking me. Like, they took 6 million damage. 7 million. And 5 million. That's where all that damage came from. It's just that darks, that dot. Ooh, nasty business. Very nasty business. But we got there, ladies and gents. We got there. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you... I'll probably see you Wednesday, actually, because again, I'm kind of away at Thomasland, enjoying myself. So until then, I bid you adieu. Thank you so much. Bye bye.